up, kinfolk? Y'all familiar with the word propaganda? Well, I want y'all to look at this and see if that word comes to your mind. Check this out.
Capitol Police say the 18-year-old suspect ran hundreds of yards wearing a tactical vest, tactical gloves, and carrying additional rounds for his loaded shotgun. They say the threat ended right about here, where they apprehended the suspect just a few feet short of the steps leading up to the U.S. Capitol.
This individual was challenged by United States Capitol police officers and ordered to drop the weapon, which he did comply with. He laid down the weapon and then laid down on the ground and was taken into custody by our United States Capitol police officers.
The gunman arrived in a white Mercedes SUV, police say was not registered in his name, and parked on Maryland Avenue near the Capitol. Inside the SUV, police found a Kevlar helmet and a gas mask. Capitol Police say the suspect had multiple addresses. They're still looking into his motive and whether or not he intended to harm any members of Congress. Lawmakers are currently on recess. Reporting in Washington, I'm Brendan Cullerton.
Now, kinfolk, the person that they're talking about is a guy named Carter Camacho. Now, I'm like y'all. A name like Carter Camacho, that don't sound like somebody black, but that don't mean that they won't make him out to be. So back to what we was talking about. We was talking about propaganda. This is Carter Camacho being arrested on the screen. See, what I believe is that they are attempting to build cases so that whenever they decide to get rid of us or do what they desire with us, it'll just be business as usual. Nobody will never think anything about it. You see, in America, and I told y'all this in the Post one time before, land has a certain capacity. And when it overshoots that capacity, it has to be a dieback. In America, it ain't but two types of people, basically. Those are desirables and undesirables. And I don't have to tell y'all who the undesirables are. You already know. But if that is the case, and if it does happen, who do you think they're going to get rid of? Just not too long ago, we had, whereas the FBI, whoever the police officiating agency is, they had some little old young boy that they done made an AI video to put him out to be some type of terrorist, little black child. Then just not too long ago back here, we got this guy, this pseudo black man that's walking around pretending as he's a Black Panther, talking about putting the holes in the chest of the police. Now we got this. Now, I'm not the smartest man in the world, but black folk, we ain't the only ones out here considered to be undesirable. No. See, undesirable means poor, poverty-stricken, crime-stricken, and you live in the lower portions of what they call lower class America. Out in Brooklyn, a guy took a baseball bat and beat another guy in the head and robbed him. Y'all check out this right here.
A home invasion robbery in Midwood takes a dangerous turn. A resident beaten with a baseball bat, and as you can imagine, neighbors are very concerned. Here's News 12's Estefania Salinas.
Police say a call came in around 1:30 this morning after neighbors reported an assault near East 13th Street and Avenue P.
That's disgusting. I feel sorry for the person that got hit with the baseball bat.
Police say a 31-year-old man was struck in the head after multiple people forced their way into his and took items.
We always try to be street smart, but when this hits very close to home, I'm definitely concerned.
Neighbors tell me this is usually a pretty quiet area, and many say this is the first time they heard something like this happening here.
Well, yeah, I'm very surprised.
We spoke to a neighbor who didn't want to be on camera, but says they see the victim most mornings. They describe him as quiet and friendly and say they're shocked this happened to him.
It's definitely a really good idea just to always be watching your back.
Police say the victim was taken to Maimonides Medical Center and is currently in stable condition. As for the attackers, they're still out there. In Midwood, Estefania Salinas, News 12, Brooklyn.
Now y'all see that? See, it happens everywhere people are poor. And what they do know is that all of this has a correlation. Where there's poor, where there's poverty, there is crime. They're not going to do anything about the poor, poverty, and crime because they won't have a job. In America, we got a capitalistic society. Somebody has to be poor. But see, the problem with it is that they are beginning to expose crime in white areas where hardly no blacks are, hardly no so-called Hispanics are. But we see that they are facing some of the same social injustice that we are. Look at what happened in Minnesota. They shot that girl in cold blood. Y'all come down there in the comment section and tell me what you think.